Hi, and thanks for joining me on this video about our GlobalStats feature within SERPWoo. Now, who this feature is for is actually the search marketer that might be looking at their project or their keyword or their niche, and they see a lot of rankings for their websites or their competitors going up and down. So there's a lot of fluctuations. There's maybe some volatility going on. And they're asking themselves, is this just happening to me, or is this possibly a Google algorithm update, or maybe it's a penalty? And this is kind of where our GlobalStats feature steps in, because how we determine this within GlobalStats is we're looking through billions of data points within our keyword database, and we're actually comparing what ranked yesterday and days prior to today in real time. And we're looking at things like device types, so local keywords versus mobile keywords versus desktop keywords. We're looking at locality, so local keywords versus non-local keywords, those that have a local intent. We're also looking at geolocation, so we're looking at keywords that are in different locations, like in Japan or Norway or Canada or the United States, or even just all globally. And then even a level past that, we're actually looking at keyword volume too, so keywords that would have low keyword volume, like under 10,000, or keywords with a lot of volume that are over 1 million as far as volume is concerned. So we're able to look at these different data sets and compare what had happened prior to what's happening now. And we actually do this in real time, multiple times daily. So if you compare this to something like Mozcast or Algoroo, there's a lot of other people that kind of have like this volatility or weather or Google algorithm update type features. Usually with a lot of those, you have to wait until the next day to see what happened on the day that you're inquiring about. So if there was an algorithm update today, a lot of those tools you would have to look at the data tomorrow to get a complete sense of what happened today. But with SERPWoo, we're actually doing this multiple times a day, collecting that data and analyzing it and then bringing it back to you. And we're doing it in real time so that if you're wondering if an update is happening, SERPWoo is going to be the first tool to actually know about it. And where we find GlobalStats is actually here on the left-hand side of the screen, right where my mouse is at. This is available pretty much on every screen within SERPWoo on the left-hand side. And if we just click it, we'll actually get brought up to the GlobalStats page here. It might take a second to load up. Now, something really interesting about this is you can actually go back to a year's worth of data. By default, I'm looking at 28 days, but you can actually look at 7 days, 14, 60, 90, all the way back to a year. Now, of course, more data that you're bringing up, it might take a little bit more time for us to pull that data and present it to you. So we usually like to keep it right at 28 days, but you can go back and look at a full year. Now, what's also separating us from other similar tools is the fact that not only can you look at overall, which is our global database for everything, but you can actually select out that you just want to look at maybe non-local intent keywords. And maybe you want to compare that to local, or just look at local by itself. You could actually do mobile keywords that are local, so you can get a look at local and mobile. And what you're looking for is basically the higher, the taller bars within the graph here. So the taller bars are going to indicate that there was more volatility on that date. So if we look here, we're looking at June 27th, which we know that an algorithm update for Google happened on that day within that time period. So that's why we've got a taller bar here at 18%. Usually, when we see anything that is above 16%, 17%, we know that there's some kind of fluctuation happening with Google. The next question is we know it's happening, but is it happening with local keywords? Is it happening only in Norway? Is it only happening with keywords with volume under 100,000 a month? And this is kind of where we can dig into that. So what I usually like to do is just look at the overall global, and I'm going to uncheck all these. So that's real easy to look at every day for me. Even if I was just comparing just my keyword and I seen that volatility for my keyword or my project was really high, I could come back here and look and instantly say, well, we're at 16%. That's usually about normal. Usually things at 17 and 18 will indicate that this is a massive global change. So if we look at June 27th as an example, if I had very high volatility within my project, within my keyword here at SERPWoo, I could go to this GlobalStats page and look at June 27th and be like, yes, there's probably an update going on because we're at 18%. If we scroll down, that's where we can actually get an idea of, maybe what countries that this is working in. We could do USA, Brazil. Maybe we'll look at Canada. We'll also look at Japan here. So we'll just do these 4, and we'll compare these countries. And now what's going to happen is everything that's below the screen that you're currently not seeing, it's going to use these countries. It's going to use Canada, Japan, USA, Brazil. You're more than fine with leaving this on just global alone if you wanted to. But as we scroll down, now we can start seeing these countries selections based on non-local, local, mobile, desktop, and the keyword volume. So if we wanted to maybe just compare Japan and the United States, we can definitely do that. Again, you can see where there is some difference between these two countries, like here with Japan compared to the United States, but then the next day it's almost the same, and the day before is a little different as well. But this is where you can kind of come in and look at countries, and you can look at the non-local or the local based. Again, you can leave this on global. You can come down and look at desktop for these countries, or if it was global, mobile as well. And then this is where we get into monthly search volume. So this is anything that's under 1,000. So these would be very small volume keywords. They might even be local keywords like Chicago plumber and so forth. Then you get into search volume that's over 1,000, over 10,000, over 100,000, and even over 1 million. So this will definitely give you insight to what's happening globally, and even give you insight to what's happening on local keywords, non-local, mobile or desktop focused keywords, keywords that are in different countries, and keywords that have different volumes. So this is a really great tool that if you're noticing a lot of fluctuations within your particular project, keyword and SERPs, even your particular niche, you can come in and compare that to what's happened globally so that you can answer the question, is this just you or is this everybody? So I highly encourage you to take a minute to go to GlobalStats and check out the different features. We're going to be adding more to this tool in the near future, but go ahead and check it out now. It's on the left-hand side of your screen. It's real easy to get to. And the next time you see fluctuations or volatility within your specific keyword, SERPs, or niche, make sure to follow that up with GlobalStats so that you can tell that this is either a global algorithm update or if this is just something specific to you and your competitors. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.